Hey, welcome back to AlgoYogi, and we are doing array and hashing series. And our next problem in the list is sort array by increasing frequency. So चलो problem पे चलते हैं. Lead code. Let's read the description. Given an array of integers nums, sort the array in increasing order based on the frequency. The frequency, how many times a number occurs, of the values. If multiple values have the same frequency, sort them in decreasing order. All right, so I think it's a really simple problem if you try to understand it, but if you want to implement it, although it seems easy, but then you kind of start wondering what would be the best way to actually do it, right? Like implement it. Well, let's understand. Okay, so I've taken the first example here. So this is our array, and we have to sort this array as per the frequency of each number. So for our answer would look something like this. So you can see 3 only occurred once, and we are sorting it as per the frequency, but in ascending order. So 3 occurred one time, so 3 will be the first number to be in my answer array, and then it's going to be 1 because 1 occurred twice, and then it's going to be 2, 2, 2, 2. All right, so this will be my answer. Okay, this is my answer. So how do you get that? First, we got to count each number, right? We got to count each number. So I can use a map. And map or dictionary is an unordered data structure. But in order to count the frequency, I guess like that's the best data structure right now. You could although create an array called with the size of either this or with the size of that's the the length of the constraints, the length of the array. That could be the possible length, and then you can count basically each number's occurrence. So but I would better I think map is best for me. So I'll just call nums map, and which will give me the frequency. So I'll just move this answer to right here. This will be the answer. Now let's move this little boy right on the top, and then I will basically try to create this nums map, which will give me the frequency of each number. All right, so 1 occurred twice, then 3 occurred once, and then 2 occurred thrice. What I'll do is I'll convert this to a list, which will contain the first item as the number and second item as the frequency. And if I get this, what I can do is I can use lambda function to sort this array based on the frequency. So I will sort by frequency, and then by if the numbers are basically some frequencies are same, it's given in the problem, then we basically put the bigger number first, and then by the count the number, the num itself, but in reverse, basically putting the bigger number first. So if I want to write the lambda function right here, this is how I would do it. So in order to sort this, and I'm going to call it num list. So num list dot sort, I want to sort these numbers, and I will sort them with the key equals to lambda x, actually this is how you write it. The proper syntax is lambda x, and then x first value, which is the frequency. So you will write x1, but then you're gonna provide one more case here. If let's say if there was a situation where two frequencies are same, then you want to in reverse order, you want to sort it by the first value, which is the number itself. Okay, so this would be my core line of code, and I hope you can see it now clearly, which will give me my answer. But now it's just sorted. Then I can create my answer list like this, and I will go over for I'll say item in num list. So this will num list. I can even say, you know what, I'll just delete this. It will give me two numbers. So for I'll say num and frequency in my num list. I hope everything is super clear right here. Okay, in num list, so I will add to my answer. So for I in range frequency, and I know it's nested, but we're just adding, you know, this is like the simplest way of adding things, that number frequency number of time to my answer. So answer dot append, and what you're appending? You're appending the num, and then you will finally return your answer. So that is it. That is our answer. Okay, so here you can see that the time that we're going to take to build our solution is big of n time complexity, because at max first we are creating this map that's going to take big of n, and then we are sorting it. Well, I forgot about sorting. So maybe you can say our time complexity is actually not n, because since we have to sort it, and although we are using this inbuilt function, the best it can sort for us is big of n log n. So that will be my time complexity. And how about space complexity? Well, we are building an answer, so that will be big of n. That is our answer. Let's go ahead and implement it and get it done. All right. Okay, so let's create nums map. Num map. I'm gonna have an empty one. You can use counter here. It's Python, right? So for num in nums and num map at the num being the value, I will get num map dot get for num. If there is nothing, take default as 0 and increment the count. Then I will convert this I can convert this num map to basically an array. Yeah, we can convert this to an array. So I'll just say maybe this num map, maybe key and val in num map, and I'm gonna call this, creating this nums list. Okay, nums list. Nums list dot append, and I'm gonna append basically key and then val. Finally, we'll use the lambda function to sort. So nums list dot sort, and then here the key would be lambda x, and x second value we want to sort it first, and then we will sort with x's, negative x's, 0th value. So this negative means you are giving preference to basically, you are reversing. You're giving preference to the biggest number first. All right, and that will give me my sorted nums list. Then I can build my answer. So I'll call it answer array, and for so I'll just say num and frequency in nums list answer dot append num, but how many times for in range frequency freak. And finally you can just return your answer. I hope you can see the code. Return my answer. So this actually does make sense to me, although like we are doing like, you know, literally 1, 2, and 3 passes. But let's run it. I guess we're not doing anything wrong, but I'm sure in terms of like code, we can clean up the code and make it to a better solution. So I think positional argument follows this. So what is wrong with this? Let's check on internet. You put it basically inside. Yeah, I was forgetting something. I think this is good. So this only takes one argument, and this could be a tuple. Okay, so first is the preferred element, basically the first comparator parameter. Basically in Java, if you're building it, you will be basically using implementing a comparator. So I'm just gonna, oh, I should have run it, but you know. So for key in num map dot items. Oh my god, this is crazy. So many things I forgot. Yeah, so now everything should be good. All right, so this is a efficient solution. Yeah, although we have done few passes, you could avoid these passes, but like this is equally good. Okay, so time complexity is going to be big of n log n, and that is because of this sort function right here. Let's say every value was different, then there would be n number of values, and you will be sorting everything, right? So space complexity is gonna be big of n. That is because you are storing it into, you know, answer array. So that would be it. Now definitely start using AlgoYogi, and we're gonna mark this problem solved. See you guys later in the next problem. Bye bye.